Hey, how you doing? I'm Adam Post, publisher of College of the Dead Graduation Day, now on Indiegogo. Pretty exciting. Publisher of more than 1,000 comic books. You think I was going to forget to say that? No way. Published a lot of comics over the last 30 years. And now I'm focused on crowdfunding my comics with ComicsGate through Indiegogo. This is my latest Secrets of the ComicsGate Network series videos, talking about how we publish comics, how we put comics together, how we promote them, market them, sell them on Indiegogo, and build up our projects and build up our series and build up our companies publishing our own comics. So this one is in the Getting Funded series, saying, yes, you need a platform. You do need a platform. Now make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Put any comments you think are appropriate in the comments below, especially if you like the series or you have any suggestions. Or if it's helped you in some way, by all means, man, tell me. Ladies, too. So this one is really important. You know, people who, even me, who published comics before, you know, I really didn't understand what the direct-to-consumer platform was about. I mean, I had some idea about it, but not a lot because, you know, there have been a lot of ways of selling, you know, comics and books to consumers, you know, the people that are ultimately reading and enjoying them. And mostly it's been through middlemen. You know, now it's direct-to-consumer. So whatever you're doing, even if you're selling to newsstands or comic book stores or bookstores, those are the platforms, you know, direct-to-consumer. All of those are the platforms. You always need a platform. So you can have a great idea, but great idea, even a beautiful looking comic book, it does not mean that it's automatically going to be successfully sold to people who are going to enjoy it. And those are consumers. The end people that at the end of the day are the readers and the people who love comic books, or collectors who love comic books, or people who love to read and collect them. Those are your consumers. They're not just your customers. Your customer is someone who buys something from you, but a customer could also resell to someone else. A consumer is a customer who enjoys your product and is done at the end. It's the guy that eats the sandwich when you're making sandwiches. Make sandwiches. That's a solution for all of us. So the first thing is, you have to recognize that just because we're doing crowdfunding, it doesn't mean that you can automatically reach customers and consumers. You know, just like when comics were sold on newsstands, just like selling comics to comic stores, bookstores, you know, they're all platforms. Direct-to-consumer is a platform, but you don't snap your fingers and get into comic book stores either. And selling direct-to-consumer is its own special thing. So let's talk about it. You know, so people will contact me, and I've had a couple people contact me and ask me like, well, look, I like comics. I want to start working on a comic, or I've done comics before, but I don't understand, you know, how do I build a platform? How do I build a system, a way of selling my comics through crowdfunding? You know, they discover Indiegogo or other crowdfunding sites, and they're not sure how to do it. Well, the first thing is getting a Twitter account. It really is number one, because there's a lot of things going on Twitter. There are a lot of resources on Twitter. There are a lot of other people who you can interact with and respond back and forth. So, you know, people are very active on Twitter. Now, not everybody is active on Twitter who does crowdfunding for comics, but a lot of people are. So you can learn a lot. You can see a lot what people are saying and doing. And especially for ComicsGate, you can kind of start to understand how everybody works. You know, how do we work? Who do we communicate with? You know, how do people support each other? How do you know, get in with the network of people who are also publishing comics that could maybe help you? You know, I do this video series to be helpful to other people. There are other people that are helpful. They have YouTube shows where they host guests. I do that sometimes too. There are other people that just give advice on Twitter. There are other people that just by seeing what other people are doing, it'll give you ideas and you'll start to understand, oh, I see, that's how people do it because I see this guy is doing this with his project. So that's number one. Get on Twitter. Get on Twitter. And where should you go and how should you work on Twitter? Twitter is a little odd if you've never used it before. It's not like Facebook and it's not like email. It's not like anything else I've ever been familiar with. And a friend of mine recently was like, "What's up with Twitter?" And I taught him about it. And this is what I told him. It was real simple. First, you have to find people that are interested in what you're interested in. So hopefully you're interested in ComicsGate. The way you find ComicsGate people is you type hashtag, the little number symbol, £, hashtag ComicsGate, and a bunch of Twitter accounts will come up. Follow all those accounts. So you can follow probably up to 100 or 200 of them in a day. If Twitter locks you out and says, "Hey, you're following too many accounts," they'll penalize you. They'll kind of lock you out of your account for 12 hours. It's not the end of the world. But start off, follow 50, 100 or so of those accounts. You should have no problem. And then what happens on Twitter is some people will follow you back. It's just sort of a common courtesy. When people follow you, a lot of times people will follow you back. Not always. Don't have your feelings hurt. And when you're new on Twitter, less people are going to follow you back. But you'll get some people following you. You'll follow some people. All right. So then watch their conversations on Twitter. See what people are talking about. All right. Things that interest you, retweet. Things that you like, click the like button. And things that you are interested in and you like, obviously do both, retweet and like them. And try to engage a little bit. Feel free to ask people questions. If you start annoying them, people won't respond. So it's hard to know, what is or what's not annoying, what's the etiquette of all of it. You just use common sense and look at what other people are doing. You can kind of follow the herd on that just to kind of understand the dynamics of it. So a Twitter account is really, absolutely really the first thing you need to start to build a direct-to-consumer platform to promote your comic books. The second thing you need to do is watch YouTube channels, right, that are related to ComicsGate. So you could search ComicsGate in a YouTube channel. There are going to be people that are saying bad things about ComicsGate. That's not going to help you, so ignore that. If you want to see their point of view, go see their point of view. It's mostly a lot of jealous people. But there will also be positive people like me. So you can, obviously, you should already be subscribed, my God, to my channel and click the bell for notifications. But also subscribe to Comic Artist Pro Secrets, subscribe to Comics Matter with your boy Zach, and look at other popular ones that pop up. Another one, a good one is Yellow Flash and that Umbrella guy. And, you're going to say a bunch off the top of my head here. It's not going to mean much to you, but you're subscribed to mine, you're going to do good. Subscribe to Comic Artist Pro Secrets with Ethan Van Sciver. That's really kind of like the heart of where ComicsGate is at these days, too. So you'll see what's going on. Then you'll see when we do live streams, so like live broadcasting, there'll be people commenting in the chats. Look at what people are saying. You can also comment in the chats when you're comfortable doing that. And that's how you kind of get integrated a bit into YouTube. Then really what you want to be able to do ultimately is build your own YouTube channel. First, by all means, you can probably get invited to go on a couple of other people's smaller channels or see what they're doing as well. And you want to start looking into having your own YouTube channel to talk about your work, to talk about pop culture and things you're interested in. Because really, the way you build a platform is ultimately supposed to be a way you can connect with your customers who are really interested in you and what you have to say, right? So the way that they're going to find out who you are and what you have to say and come to want to have you and things that you're making, your projects in their life, your comics in their life, they need to know more about you, right? So you gotta talk. You gotta be on YouTube shows. You've got to be on your own YouTube channel. And you also want to try to bring people into ComicsGate who've not been in there before, whether it's science fiction related things that you're interested in, or role playing games, or wrestling, or whatever the heck it might be, even sports, pop culture, all sorts of things. But again, go ahead and look at some of these existing channels so far. You'll get an idea of what it is that people are doing, and you'll see what you think you can and can't do. But absolutely, you start with the Twitter account. All right, it's free, it's easy. YouTube is free and easy as well. Follow and watch what people are talking about on these channels. See what the subjects are they're talking about. You'll get what the heck is going on, right? So watch that. And then really, ultimately, what you're looking for is you're looking for lists of email addresses. not just any email addresses, and not even just email addresses of people that like comic books. You want an email address. You want email addresses of people that are interested in you and your projects. Now, I did a video yesterday talking about how you need an email list. And that talked about how if you're going to launch a project, you can have some sample artwork. You can, for free, get a pre-launch page on Indiegogo. And they will allow you to collect email addresses. And you will promote your link to your project on Twitter, on YouTube. It could be in different Facebook groups. And you'll get signups on that email list. So this is how you kind of start to get a following of people that are interested in what you are doing. But in addition, you got to be active on Twitter and active on YouTube. This is just really basic things to get started. But really, this all really comes down to the key thing of it is that email list, and hopefully you're going to get at least 300 names because that's kind of what you need to launch something successfully. Again, people have done it with less, people have done it with more, but as a good rough number, you need 300 names of people who've signed up and expressed interest in your project of whatever you're about to do from that email list before you can launch. And really, when you launch that project and you have your 300 names, a percentage of those, you never know what it's going to be, hopefully as high as possible, but a percentage will convert into actual customers. And then you'll get really the main thing, which is an email list of people who are interested in buying products from you. And as you build your Twitter, as you build your YouTube, as you do your pre-launch project, as you launch your project and deliver your project successfully, that email list will grow. You could wind up with 200 customers on the list initially. Like that's what my first campaign was, 200 backers from my first campaign. Now the new campaign is at a rate where it's at least double or triple what we did on the prior campaign, which is fantastic. And of course, I've been promoting on Twitter. I've been promoting on YouTube. Exactly what I'm saying to you to do. It's not a big secret. It's just a lot of work, and you have to be disciplined to do the work. Again, this has nothing to do with whether or not my idea is cool. It's just you've got to work to promote yourself and to promote your projects so people know who the hell you are and care about your project and care about what you are actually doing next. It's really important. It's absolutely crucial. Speaking of doing next, this is my campaign, College of the Dead Graduation Day. So right now it's at $3,815. My goal was $3,000. At this same time, when we launched the first College of the Dead book a few months ago, that one did about maybe $1,000, within the first few days, if that. It really did very much less. And I actually had more promotion going for it at the time. But now, since we've had satisfied customers, and since I have an email list, it's growing and we're doing well. I've been on a lot of cool channels. I was just on Raging Golden Eagle last night. That's me pointing with 2 fingers. I don't know why I did that, but I look pretty cool. And that was a great conversation. I'll put a link to that video in the description so you can watch it. It's really cool. He's a very interesting guy, that Raging Golden Eagle. That's just one channel and it's just one appearance, and we sold books, and more people got to know who I was and what projects I was doing. So it's more exposure. And that's really what you need to be looking to do, is you want people to see what it is that you're going to do. And it can be a very time-consuming thing to do, but it's a lot of fun. And you build a network that way, and you build relationships that way, and you build people who are really seriously interested in what you're doing. And eventually, you have an email list of people that will regularly want to buy whatever the heck it is that you are doing, because they know and trust that you're doing something cool and that you're going to deliver what you promise. And guess what that is? That's your platform. A future project I have coming up, we just got this colored today. This is the color of a cover to a series called The Mermaids. And this series is like a Game of Thrones meets a world of mermaids. And all female mermaids. It's completely done. We're just finishing up some of the details on putting the book together. And that campaign will be coming out in the next few months. But our main focus right now is College of the Dead. But as always, I'm working on multiple projects. But I just got that in today. I wanted to share that with you because the thing is so damn beautiful. I'm going to play the trailer for College of the Dead. I want you to check this out. It's a minute long. I think you're going to love it. It's by Ted Zagaro. And he's on Twitter if you want to find him. He can do a video for you. And The guy does amazing work. And I will see you again soon. And if I don't see you, I will miss you.